Hi, this is Rabbi Orlofsky with the ongoing question and answer series of shorts, just to be able to catch up on all of our bits of business. Now, I mentioned, when I mentioned back on the podcast we were going to do this, I said, there's different types of questions. Some of them are silly questions. So, depending on the level of the silliness, I'll address it or not. But, here's a silly question. If Rabbi Orlofsky was a fruit, which fruit would he be? So I never liked these things, Girls tell me in shidduchim, like the shadchan will say, what animal do you associate with? And I think how demeaning to a Bas Yisrael to even think of her as as an animal. I mean, I find that so insulting. But you could argue that Adam Eitz HaSodeh, and that a person is a tree that produces fruit in this world, and so therefore, what type of a tree producing fruit would you be? Yeah. So that's a good question. Yeah. I've never thought about it, obviously. I would definitely say I'm not a citrus fruit, because citrus fruit take a long time to peel. Trust me, I have a lot of kids. I would send them to school, and you have to make like a little simanim in it so that they can peel it. Sometimes they can't. They bring it to the ganenet to peel it, and ganets complain about how they have to peel all of these clementinas and oranges and things, and how difficult it is. So there's a lot of peel, there's a lot of time, and I'm not like that. Everyone knows exactly what I think. You don't have to peel anything to get to the fruit. You know exactly who I am. So it's got to be, a type of a fruit. So, you might think an apple, maybe, because, it has an edible peel. It's very easy. It's sweet, and I sort of resemble an apple a little bit, But obviously, I moved to Israel 37 years ago, so it must be one of the Shivas Aminim, yeah. So, based on my tremendous level of low self-esteem, I'd be inclined to say a rimon, because a rimon is, of course, the fruit that is maximum psoilus and has only little bits of sweetness in it. But I don't think that's really fair, I think if I think of the fruit, and I'm going now with the Shivas Aminim of what's left, I would have to say a tamar. Because, first of all, tamar helps you get chokhmah. Tamar is intoxicating, and there's no question that I'm definitely habit-forming. And tamar is very sweet, and I'm certainly very sweet. And tamar represents taiva. That's why when it says, v'chol sa'ar v'chol dvash, you should not put in any honey into the korbanos, right? It's talking about dvash tamarim, what today we call silan. But that was their dvash. Their honey was from there. And it's so sweet, it represents taiva. And that's why there are two girls in Tanakh named Tamar, and both of them are involved in stories of taiva. So, since I'm number one, very sweet, and number two, a tremendous Baal Taiva, and also a bit of a Chacham, I would definitely have to say, upon close examination, I would go with a Tamar. And that's it. That was the best I came up to. Sadik katamar yifrach, keres balvanan yiskeh. Yeah. Toma Devora. Interesting that Devora sits under a tamar, and her name is Devora, which is a bee, which also makes honey. Yeah. So you bring all that honey together, and so I'm gonna go with that, and that's it. We need sponsors, by the way. Please go to my website, RabbiOrlofsky.com, if you want to sponsor a question and answer, so we can keep doing this. And until next time, I am Dovid Orlofsky.